All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Joe with Cowboy Cartel.
What's going on, guys? I'm Clay with Cowboy Cartel.
And we are missing Lionel today. He should be in with us pretty soon.
Eventually.
But we're going to go ahead and eventually we're going to go ahead and get started without him. So, what are you wearing there, Clay? What is that?
This here is an American Tough Cooper. Let me see. I don't want to get this number wrong. Okay, I was correct. It is an 8870 that Kevin found and hiding at Joby's. It's a couple years old. Shaped it up, man. It's a unique color because in this slide it looks more yellow. If you get outside, there's brown notes and brown tones in it. It's two different straws weaved together that are like a hair of a different color off of each other. It looks great, man. I love it. We did a mimic in it. It's a great hat.
Well, in this in the video that I'm seeing in the studio, it matches your wall.
Yeah, it does. That's what I'm seeing too. Yeah, it's like a cream top tone. Let's see if I can get close to the camera and see if you can see some of those tones in it. You kind of can.
Send me some pictures of that, and I'll put them in post processing.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I think there's some in the chat, but I'll get
here.
some really good ones and send them.
Okay. So I'm wearing a 7X American Black Cherry today. We're patched up with Cowboy Cartel in a red patch and the Texas flag on this one.
Always.
Yeah. This is just that. This is that felt Texas flag that we made and for testing, and it didn't really do well, so it doesn't stick real well. So we're not going to release that yet. But I was testing it on this hat, and I haven't worn it in a while. And since it's felt season and I need a beater hat, I decided I'll drag this out. Anyway, so Kevin found he found this on a pile somewhere and just happened to be in your size, and and you wound up buying it, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. He like I was saying, you cut off. So I told the whole story.
Okay.
Kevin had found it when we were looking for that pecan, and the Sunday that you were at Joby shaping, he was like, "If you buy it now, Joby City can shape it right now and send it out. Send me the money." And I was like, "I don't really need another straw." He's like, "I know you want it," and then I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it. Fine, we'll try it."
He's an enabler.
He's bad, man. He found another hat at Joby's the other day and was like, "Hey, this is a good hat. It's your size. I know you want it."
He's Joey's best salesperson.
He's got a silver belly he's trying to get me to buy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I kind of need a silver belly in something a little less expensive to wear. Just like I don't mind wearing a 500X to work or whatever, but it's not always the best hat for me to be tearing around the town in. So.
Yep. Yeah. I would rather wear a higher quality to work in, and then if I'm gonna go out on the town or something and have an opportunity of messing up a hat, I'd much rather wear a 7 or a 10X.
I don't know.
Even a 40. Yeah. 40 is kind of my cutoff. I wouldn't want to wear anything more than that.
Really? So I think 40 is like my bottom number. I would rather have like a 40 or 100X, but I just the only reason I've got this 7X is this is the only one I've got left, I think, and it's
I found it. Sold all the other ones.
Yeah, so I don't have anything. This is the only thing I have under 40X at the moment, but this was I was looking for a chocolate, and this kind of, I think I've said this before on the podcast, it kind of looks chocolate in certain lights, and I kind of went with it, and it's just not my favorite. It's a little too dark for me. I just don't think I look good in darker hats. So anyway, I've been wearing it this week.
I understand that.
But I wore it this weekend.
No, so I haven't yanked all my fillets out yet. We had a very good cool night last night, the night before last, and I pulled out the pecan and wore it. We were about 50, 58, 57 degrees for a couple hours there with a good breeze, but we're still up in the high 80s during the day, so it's still a little warm for me.
It's mid 80s at night here.
Man,
But
we're supposed to be down
yeah,
into the mid 50s all this week. We got a cold front coming through, or a cool front more than a cold front, but
gotcha.
Hey,
It
y'all.
looks like Lionel's coming in. There he is.
I don't know.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back, Lionel.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the tardiness.
Yeah. Why don't you can you raise
Oh,
your
there he is.
can you raise your camera view just a little bit?
Oh. Let me see.
Is it a
Better?
laptop?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all right. It'll work. We'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll make
All
it work.
right.
Well, while we're segueing into him and he's getting ready, how about you talk about a little bit about that new straw that you just got?
Me? Oh,
The what now?
let me grab that. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
you. Well, while he's grabbing that, we'll talk a little bit about it. He just got his new straw in from American. Okay, now we're.
Oh, there you go. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, all right. This is the 5100. This is the. I don't know why my camera. I'm having a hard time knowing where my camera is here. So anyway, this is the 5100. New American hat they just sent me. Obviously, it's going to be used mostly for next summer now, since we're in felt season. I do still wear a straw on occasion on hot days, but they shaped it up for me at the factory. I sent them pictures and measurements of my brim size and shape that I wanted, and they did it in a Minnock for me. It's my first Minnock. And we were talking in the last podcast. Lionel had trouble grabbing the Minnock, and you said yours was okay. I didn't have this at that time, and so I had seen a Minnock, and they seemed like they were harder to grab. But when they shaped this one, it's kind of perfect. It's really easy. It's almost like a cattleman, and just kind of a different shape for me. I'm not probably going to switch to this on everything, but I kind of like it on this hat. My only complaint with this hat is the dip is not as pronounced as I like, and I just haven't really dipped it yet. I figured I can wait till next year. It's not broken in yet. I've been wearing most of my straws for the entire season, and I forgot what it's like to break in another straw. So anyway, that's the new 5100. Love it. Great hat.
Yeah,
It's basically a 50-50 in a different color, and I love the 50-50.
Nice looking hat.
For info for the people, because you guys know this, we went to a rodeo, as Joe would call it, last night, and
Didn't call it that, didn't I?
for being a little town in the middle of nowhere, you did. For being a little town in the middle of nowhere, man, I counted about 9 of those 5100s. I'd never seen one in person before, man, but the rodeo guys were wearing the crap out of them.
It's a good looking hat.
They were all over the place. That and there was a lot of 1022s, but I think that's a really common American straw.
1022 is kind of a classic, though. And the 1011, I haven't decided which one I like yet, and
Yeah,
it might be the most expensive American straw.
Which one? The 1011?
1011, 1022. I think it's the most expensive straw American makes. For some reason. I could be wrong. I mean, I'd have to go in and you'd have to find somebody who's got them all in stock to give you a price list. But from what I've seen, it's about 200 and
good luck.
210 190. I forget. It's within $5, higher than most of the other straws. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
So maybe
The
that's something we have to
50/50
ask.
I've seen is that way too. Best Hat has a 50/50 and they're $195 on it. Joby has a 50/50. He's $199 on it.
Really?
They're it's up there as some of the highest ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 50/50 has been
Like
hard
this
to
one here,
get.
this one was 160.
How much?
160.
Okay. And that's, when you're comparing that to something like, Resist All, George Strait, that's not a bad price for what you're getting
For
there.
sure.
No.
As a matter of fact, talking about rodeos and 50/50, I'm pretty much we got my next rodeo that I'm working is going to be the last one I work in Florida. So it's going to be in November, and I'm not sure if it's still going to be felt season down here. So I think that's the one I might wear, the 50/50, if it's still not felt season.
And what was it? I think we had a rainstorm just kind of blow in the other day, and I was wearing either the 50/50 or the 5100, and it was cold. Like there's so much ventilation in that hat. If you get high winds on a cooler night,
Yep.
with some rain or something, it's a little chilly. It does not protect your. It's really for sun. That's about
Yeah.
it. So anyway, Lionel.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry.
And I see your. What are you wearing tonight? You missed the "What are you wearing" segment.
I am. Oh yeah. So what I'm wearing is I'm wearing my American 5200, and I'm also wearing Wrangler shirt as usual, Wrangler jeans as usual, and I'm wearing a pair of Anderson Bean Grizzly Bears because I felt for some odd reason or another that those were the best boots to wear while shooting.
All right. So yeah, we didn't go over our full attire.
Oh, cool.
I guess I'm wearing a cotton Tacoma shirt today because this is a little warmer than the Eli Cattleman I've been wearing, and I've been freezing all day in here. I don't know why, but I've been home all day working, and it's just been kind of cold in here.
Good looking shirt.
It is a nice shirt. I like the Tacoma shirts. They're a little overpriced.
Yeah,
I probably
I like
wouldn't.
It's got a good pattern on it.
Yeah.
I got this new Tacovas
And hey, dude,
koozie
since I'm
with the shark
I
skin
saw
boots.
that. I saw they gave you that.
There you go.
Yeah, you got that with the new boots. So I guess I'm the only one wearing felt. I figured it's felt season. We were going to talk about felt season, and I figured we'd all be in felts, but I was
I
wrong.
could grab one.
I can change.
I mean, I could switch, but
You're
it's
gonna
still
freeze
still a
over,
tad
man.
bit
You're gonna
too
end
warm
up
here.
looking like Jack in the Titanic at the end, the last scene.
See, this thing is it's just not quite it's not quite broken in yet. So anyway,
It's good
It
looking
is a
hat.
heck of a
it
good
is, and
looking
my
hat.
my
man.
lighting might be a little too bright for this light colored hat, but
By the way, I am using a lighting too. I just ordered one of these light rings online. So
oh, you got a ring light?
yeah, that's the one.
Cool.
Yep. So I don't know how it's
There
coming
you go.
out.
Well, you're much brighter than you usually are.
Yep.
So I am going to switch back since I've got this everything set up. I've got everything set up for
Hopefully
this dark
my
hat.
video comes through a little bit more.
Go ahead, Clay.
Me and Joe did a little experimenting after our last podcast and figured out a few things. So we switched my setup over as well.
Yeah, Clay's using a new camera.
Nice.
So hopefully it'll. We'll see once we download this. We'll see how it turns out. This is kind of just another episode of us talking. After after the last podcast, Fenolia reached out to me, and they do want to reschedule. I was expecting them to be able to make this podcast, but we're gonna have to work out a time where we can all make it happen. They were at the trade show during our last podcast, so in Fort Worth or Dallas, and they were not able to make it to the last podcast, but they still do want to do one. We're just gonna have to get that scheduled. So you guys, no felts in Florida, huh? Not until like November?
No, maybe November, maybe.
Man, I was there in December last year, and it was 95 degrees.
Yeah.
It's 95 here, and I don't wear. I don't know. I do. As long as the sun's not shining here, it's comfortable, even at 90 degrees, to wear a felt. But when that sun starts baking, it's kind of different. It's kind of like like the Southwest sun. It kind of burns a little hotter when you're under it. So anyway, what Lionel? You went out shooting today, huh?
Yep.
So you try the new gun out?
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you got.
I tried my I already had it. I just I put a new upper on it, and I also changed the trigger. And that thing was so nice, and these guys were like around me shooting. They're like, "Oh man, that's you sound like you're pulling that trigger real fast." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a custom trigger. I just had this, and man, everybody want to try." And they just blew their mind. So they actually were going right there and then. Like I had like 2 different parties of people that tried out my rifle, and right after they did that, they went ahead and ordered it like in the shooting range. They went and ordered like a trigger for their AR-15. So that was funny as heck. And I they were like, "Hey man, so where can you get it?" I'm like, "Well, that's CMC over in Fort Worth, Texas. So if y'all want a really nice trigger for your AR and other gun accessories, go check out CMC out of Fort Worth, Texas. Really great folks and really good stuff."
Yeah, I've never used their triggers, but they're pretty popular.
Yep.
So how did it shoot? Shot very well?
Shot beautiful. Good precision on the tri upper and everything, so I'm real pleased. Clay, you got a new gun, didn't you?
That's right.
I got
turn
2
this into
new
the
guns.
Gun
Yes.
Talk
You
podcast.
did get 2 new guns. I talked about your Taurus.
You got 2? What'd you get?
I did. Yeah, I got a Taurus Judge and a Canic Mate SFT and a 9mm.
That Judge, is that the 410?
410-45 long Colt.
Yeah, 410 45 long Colt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. We went and shot it Friday night, and it was a fun time.
I had a friend in high school who had one of
It's
those.
smooth, man. It's got a lot less kick to it than you think it would. It really does. It's fun.
How long a barrel you got on it?
That and between Friday and Saturday morning.
3 inch?
3 inch.
No, thanks.
Little study.
Yeah. Hell of a fun shoot though, ain't it?
It's not really that bad, to be honest. The first couple times gets you with a 45, but after you get going, it's not bad at all. Then I probably put, I think we put 600 rounds through that Canic between Friday and Saturday morning.
That's expensive.
Yeah. It wasn't cheap.
What,
I didn't pay for all. I didn't shoot all 600 rounds either, but
is that a 9mm?
it is. Yeah, it comes with an 18 round magazine and a 20 round magazine.
Yeah, that's right. I saw you sent pictures of those in the chat group. Lionel, I got a question. So when you go shooting, do you shoot with a cowboy hat on?
No, I didn't because I had to put my ears on, and I was actually wearing Dale Brisby's hat, and I had the my cowboy hat in the hat rack inside the truck. I didn't leave it vacant for long, so I took it all. I took off my cap and put on my.
I was wearing my JBDB hat as well.
Oh, you see, great minds think alike.
There you go.
But yeah, they
There we go.
no, I couldn't wear my ears with a cowboy hat. At least I never tried. Gotta try that sometime.
So, Clay, what's up with the beeping man? I know you said it's a security system. What's it doing, man? Is it telling you the battery's dead?
It's the something's gone on with the battery in it. We've replaced the battery 4 or 5 times, and something's wrong with the board in it, where it automatically thinks the battery's bad all the time.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, it was funny
it's
because
gonna have to get replaced.
I went through and I tried to remove all of that on post processing from the last podcast, and I could get it. It was time consuming. I got most of them, but when you're talking and it beeps, there's no way to cut it out. So so it left a few of them.
We're about to move out of this house, so it'll be gone soon.
Good. That lady will be happy.
I got a new camera too, by the way.
We'll leave it at that.
What's that,
Got a
Lionel?
new camera too.
For
Recording.
a video camera? What'd you get?
Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Oh, okay. Is that the new one? Did they come out with a new
just
phone?
released it 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
so-
released it.
I guess I'm getting a new phone.
Oh, there you go. So I have the 11, regular 11, and I always had trouble with storage, and mine has like the 126 gigabyte, and I went and upgraded it to the 14 Pro, which is supposed to be like phenomenal, like 48 megapixel, and this one is like I think like 12 megapixel. So it's going to be a huge upgrade in the camera, and God willing, it's going to reflect on the videos that I'm going to be shooting from now on. Along with everything else, and apparently I didn't even need that gimbal because it's already built in.
It's got a built-in gimbal on the next
Yeah.
one. I'm gonna have to go look at this because I've been waiting for the new iPhone for about 4 months to upgrade. So I just haven't been paying attention. I didn't know it came out.
Yeah,
yet.
it just came out like 3 days ago, so I just ordered the Pro Max. It's supposed to release on the 16th officially, so I didn't get it yet. It's going to be coming out, I guess, in a few days. It's going to be at my house.
Right. That's cool. What else we got going on?
So, I did the review on the Tacovas, the shark skin ones, and that video ended up actually being pretty popular. Video released about, there was like 2 videos that released before mine. That video ended up right now in 4 days, it's at 838 views. So that's a very popular video because I guess they're a limited run shark skin boot, and they're really nice looking. They've done some really good improvement over the Prescott, but there's still some things that they could work out, and a little bit of quality things that Tacovas definitely could work on. But overall, one thing I could definitely say about Tacovas is their customer service is spot on. But while I was at the shooting range, the manager asked me what's my thought on, because he actually follows the YouTube channel, and he's like, what's my thought on, some of the best boots that I want to, that he could buy. And he was looking at Lucchese and such, and I literally, just from the craftsmanship and everything, I just literally went ahead and recommended him to Fenolio.
Yeah, Fenolios. I really need some more of those. They are just a great boot.
They are.
So comfortable.
I can't wait to review them. I already spoke to
Yeah.
Mr. Fenolio and looking forward to get a pair of boots that I'm going to be getting, and you know, hopefully I could get that review out to y'all shortly. But like Joe said, um, there's some of the best boots out there, and I'll definitely take his word for it because he knows what he's talking about. You.
For the money,
Yes.
they're some of the best boots. They're the most comfortable boot I've ever worn. Um, I still want to try, um, you know, other versions of their boot, but the specific pair I have, the Fuji chocolate Fuji rough out, it's probably the most comfortable boot I've ever worn. Um, as far as wearing it for a long time and not having any fatigue,
Yep.
not having any pinching, um, hot spots or anything like that. It's just a great boot as far as comfort goes, and to have a high heel like that, you can get a walking heel in something and have a ton of room, um, but it's a great boot. I highly recommend it, um, especially for that price point, man. It's just crazy.
Made out right there, handmade in the great state of Texas, and for such a good
Yep.
price. It's really hard to beat. I just don't even know how it's done.
There's Clay again.
Hey Clay, how are you? I see you again.
I'm back.
It's that internet, man. I don't know.
Having a great time.
We're gonna get you I'm gonna talk to Elon. We're gonna get you one of those satellite deals put out there.
I need something. How y'all are quiet. Now I can't hardly hear y'all. We love this.
I don't know, man.
And we gotta
Maybe it's
get a little bit.
turn your volume up.
Gotta get a little bit of satellites over by Georgia, man.
It's two podcasts in a row we've lost Clay here.
I was doing great too, man. 30 minutes. 30 minutes, no issues.
Right? Yeah, it was. It was pretty good.
It's that Georgia satellite,
Right
man.
up until it wasn't.
Well, I'm going to try to disconnect and rejoin if I can hear y'all. Y'all are extremely quiet.
All right. We'll see you in a bit, Clay.
So for me,
But,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
For me, like I don't know, some of the boots, honestly, and I mean that we all know they're not the top quality. You know, if you're looking for like a really nice traditional, that is not going to be them. Uh, Literally, their leather almost feels like rubber, and that's going to be Ariat. We all know that Ariat is going to look like the leather is made out of plastic because it's not the nicest quality. But one thing I will say about them, I don't know how they achieved it, but maybe because it is like rubber, it is the one boot that I could literally walk around all day in and not feel any fatigue or any pain. I'd rather walk around with that rubberized leather than have some foot fatigue for these long period of time or these days. You know that you really do have to walk or act like you're, I guess, doing sports.
Well, excuse me. As far as that goes, I would rather wear Adidas than Ariat, and I don't see any point in them at all. I've got two pair. One of them I'm going to be reviewing and then immediately selling. It's still in the box. I've never even worn it. But the funny thing is, I received a notice on YouTube yesterday from somebody who does truck reviews or has some kind of a truck channel. It was just a recommendation, I think, automatically from YouTube, and he was talking about his new pair of boots, and had been wearing Double H for a couple of years, and they were well worn, and then he set them on fire, and was talking about his new replacement pair, which was Ariat. I don't know how you're going to replace a pair of Double H American made boots with a pair of Chinese made boots and have an opinion on them. I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal. If you want something comfortable that looks like a boot, I mean, I guess that's the only reason. It's not a boot to me. That's not a boot.
I mean,
I'd rather wear a pair of Hey Dudes all day than wear a pair of Ariats.
Yeah.
I've actually, I mean, they 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 do look like cowboy boots. I mean, they are cowboy boots because they're made out of leather. Now, I do agree with that on the Chinese made Ariats, but the Mexican made Ariats, I would say that they're a little bit they're way better made. Now, the fact that they have the rubber on the bottom, you know, that's just, something that to modernize the boot in a way to, work. Let's say if you're working in snow or you need more grip, and no matter what, I would want to wear some that looks like a boot, and it does look like a boot. I mean, once you got it on, nobody's gonna mistake it for a pair of sneakers. Um, but it's just like instead of wearing sneakers, like when I have to be standing all day, I rather wear a pair of Ariats, in my opinion. But then again, I don't get uncomfortable like standing around all day and let's say my Anderson Baines, or standing around all day and you know certain boots that are really that comfortable as Anderson Bean and such. Uh, but for like days like I said that I have to go to a park, run, do stuff like that. Um, yeah, those are gonna be the ones. The areas actually do really feel good. Now, again, I really do want to try the the Fenolios because they do have like I guess a comfortable footbed. You said right?
Yes.
So I want to see. I definitely want to see how they feel with after I put those on like that. You know.
Well, here's my thing. So I wear if I need a comfortable boot, I was wearing the Anderson Bean, um, just because I needed something to stand in and walking 10, 12, 15,000 steps a day. I was wearing the Anderson Bean, and it's an okay boot. I get some foot fatigue eventually, but it's such a much better boot than Ariat to
Oh
me.
yeah,
I know there's a price difference.
definitely.
If you want a boot for $150 to $250, then Ariat, Chinese made Ariat is it's your boot. Um, the Mexican made Ariats, they are going to be in the $400 range. I mean, at that point, why would you even buy them? They don't have any of the technology. I mean, hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm just gonna grab the Ariats real quick since we're talking about
Cool.
them.
While he's doing that, I mean, talking that 150, $250 range. At that point, if you want something in that price range, you can get a pair of damn posts for that price range.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a Mexican made boot, and you're gonna save a lot of money. A lot of their boots have their traditional round and snip toe have a leather
Yep.
sole. Their square toe has a hybrid sole. Like we talked about that one time.
Right.
It's something interesting. The outer around the toe area is leather, where the inner part of your foot's rubber, and it's
Yeah.
got a big thick rubber heel. So they're extremely comfortable for what they are.
Right.
The footbed's really well in them. They have a really good insole. It's a good boot. It's to me, I would rather pay. They're like $250-ish. You pay 100 extra bucks more than what you pay for a $150 pair of Ariats, and have a lot better of a boot.
Right. And so that's the thing. So I paid my Ariats, my Mexican made Ariats were like $220, and then the only pair of Ariats that I have, which are ostrich, that were $400. I would have never bought them if they were still at that price, but they were on sale for $200, so I didn't pass up the offer, and I went ahead and got them. But
Yeah.
besides that, they've been, even the Mexican ones that I have been around $220, which it's an okay price to pay for something that comfortable.
So these are the Chinese.
I agree.
These are the Chinese made. Let's see, where are these made? Let me double check here. They're made somewhere in Asia, I'm sure. Yep, these are made in China.
Oh yeah.
Okay, these are $250 retail smooth ostrich. I don't know if I've ever done a review on these, just because I know I've talked about them either on a podcast or in the group. It's smooth ostrich. It's real. There's no rubber involved in it. As far as the upper and the shaft goes, it's all leather construction. It is a rubberized sole, so this is not um, reconditionable
Oh, I know what soul
or
that is.
recraftable. Yeah, that's all urethane junk. Um, it's not a very comfortable boot. It does not flex at all, like a boot should. Um, it's just I wore it a few times at Cavender's, and then it went in the corner. And I really have been reluctant to even do a review on it because I just don't like it. I'll never use this boot for anything. It's a waste. So
I mean, I think you should still do a review on it just to let folks know about it. You know,
I will, and I might roll the two reviews together. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's not something that I'm interested in at all. Brand new pair. I've had these. Man, how long have I had these? 4 or 5 months. Full ostrich Ariats. These are the $500 $400 Mexican made Ariats with a leather sole. It has a midsole, and the only reason it has a midsole is so that they can put this rubber in there. So this rubber is an actual midsole, and it kind of sticks out of the sole itself. So it's kind of interesting. I like how it's done, but here's the shank. This shank goes all the way through from the outsole outside all the way to the insole. If you pull the insole out, you can see this shank on the inside. It's such a weird construction. It has a stacked heel. I'm assuming it is not real leather. It has a very strong smell of leather. Even like I said, it's been in the box for 5 months or something like that. It appears to be well constructed. But again, it's got that weird Ariat leather that's it's just a stiff material, and it's got a hung leather. No, it doesn't have it. Yes, it does. Nope, it's not hung, but it's got a leather lining that's really thick. It's not a $400 boot. I'd go and get a pair of Tony Lamas all day long for $400 before I bought this. It's not even a pretty color. They painted each quill, so it's not like a high grade ostrich at all.
They did that with mine too.
I'm not even a huge Tony Lama fan because I don't like square toe, but I would go for Tony Lama way before I got one of these.
So I did a review on the Gavins, the Riho Gavins, and I've compared them to the leather on the ostrich that I had from Ariat, and I mean, that Ariat ostrich is just so much different. Yeah, the boot's nice and comfortable, and I could, somewhat, wear it better for long periods of time. But it's just not so soft and supple, and it just does, it doesn't sink in really nice. It's just, it feels like a stiff cowhide, And I'm like,
That's the problem with that Ariat.
it's ostrich.
That Ariat shaft is like that. It's just a weird, not comfortable
Even
shaft.
the vamp, even the vamp,
Yeah.
well, it's I'm like, man, this is an ostrich vamp. Ostrich is supposed to sink in and be a bit more supple, and this thing just felt like, you know, stingray.
The problem is they're not great boots, and people are out there saying how great they are. They're not. It's a horrible boot. It's only a good boot if you need something to tear up for $150.
Yeah, but
And
I agree. Um, the only thing I've found of Ariat to be decent was their work boot, and it's okay.
mhm.
to me, I don't,
They've got some good
I've got a pair, and
technology.
they've held up for a big year.
I don't know.
They've
Yeah,
got some
they've
good
held up for about
technology
a
in there.
year.
We're all talking over each other.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, somebody.
Yeah, like,
So they've held up for about a year. The sole's still good on them. The insole has just worn down very quickly compared to some of the other boots I've had, but they were decent. They're big. They're lunky.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no. I mean, it's a thick leather. It's not something you're going to break in. You better get the right size when you get it, or it's not going to change. But I
Yeah.
mean, they were cheap. Well, for a work boot, I mean, $200. So unfortunately, when you're at my size, you kind of don't get to pick and choose what you want, and that was what I could find at the time. But I don't think I'll ever buy another pair.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to change everybody's mind and say you can get American-made pair of boots at a decent price, and I'm looking for them all the time.
Exactly.
for sure. Well, so this is my thing with Ariat. Do I love how they look? No, I don't. Um, I've tried on the Chinese version. I wore it for less than a day, and they looked identical to my Mexican version, except for some, synthetic, extra synthetic material, and they just gave me pain, and those were just horrible. Now, the thing that I love about the Mexican made Ariats is, even though it's not the best quality, I don't understand it, but it's not the best quality. It's they don't look the best, but they look better than a sneaker to me, and it's just something that would replace a sneaker. So if you're ever feeling like, man, my feet hurt today, or I feel like wearing a sneaker, to me, that's the boot that I'm gonna wear to replace my sneakers. Except if I'm wearing shorts and I'm not wearing cowboy boots at all.
So
I feel that to a certain extent, and I used to say the same thing too. And I took like Joe has, I took a play out of Joby's book and started doing the Hey Dudes, and to me that's made a massive difference. And they're a lot cheaper, man. You can tear a pair of Hey Dudes up and get a pair of Hey Dudes for $50, and
wearing them right
tear
now.
them to
These are
pieces and grab another pair right off. I mean,
the Justin version.
Oh yeah, I saw those. Those are cool.
yeah, Twisted
Yeah.
X makes a
So,
version. Ariat makes a
Yep.
version now.
dude, these are
mean,
so light. I've got a scale right here. Let's see
they're
how.
crazy and they're comfortable, man.
I'm sure they are.
They're extremely comfortable. They have a good sole in them.
They
They're
they
light,
look cool. I
extremely
like
lightweight.
them.
You can't feel them on your feet hardly. They're awesome. I like those a lot better than I like the Hey Dudes, but the Hey Dudes make a 17. So
So these are
unfortunately, Justin or Twisted X does not.
8 ounces.
Yeah, they're extremely light.
You got your cartel scale there?
Yeah. So it's crazy. 8 ounces. I mean, it feels, and that's a size 11. 11. 10.5. It's a size 10.5. 8 ounces. My scale is kind of like wonky here. I want to make sure it's, I'm missing a foot on it. So that might actually, I don't know where the foot went. We're going to say it's probably close. 8 ounces because it's very light. The other thing is, though, it's the amount of cushion in it is ridiculous.
Hey dudes are the exact same way.
It's like walking on a mattress or something. It's so, and I actually bought these to wear at Joby's because that's what they wear, you know,
Right.
And that's what he recommended. So I bought them to wear there, and I really, I don't have a problem wearing them with cowboy hat now, but I do still wear cowboy boots for the most part.
So, see, the thing with me is, and again, that's all personal and everything. I I like the way the Hey Dudes and those Justins look, and but to me, I feel like I could get the same kind of comfort and like all day durability on them uh, with the Ariats. I feel like I could wear the Ariats all day, and it ain't gonna bother me. Just like probably those Hey Dudes will feel. And again, maybe my mind might change in the future, but for now, I like the way the Ariats look better than let's say for now, Hey Dudes or whatnot. And if I could feel just as comfortable wearing uh, Ariats, Mexican made Ariats, well, then that's just fine for me. But again, everybody has their personal outlook and thought process on that. But
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
Here's the thing about the Mexican made Ariats right now. They have changed so that all of the exotics are now made in Mexico. You're not going to find um, just a cowhide Ariat made in Mexico. And I'm getting some feedback from, I think, Clay. So
yeah, my phone was dying. I unfortunately unplugged my mic.
okay. So the thing is, you're looking at 350. I think it's $400
Yeah.
to start with a Mexican made Ariat now. You're just not going to find it. And the other thing is the Chinese and the Mexican made Ariats, they use two different lasts, so the size is different.
yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
both these
looking
are
at
the same
that, at
size.
least in my perspective, and
Go ahead.
so looking at that in my perspective and my thought of it, if you're having to pay $350, $400 for a pair of them, you can have 8 pairs of Hey Dudes or Justins or Twisted X's in 8 different styles. That's my
True.
thing.
Or you could have Tony Llama or Fenolio or
Or a pair of Tony. You have 2 pairs of Tony Llamas. You can have 2 pairs of damn Post. To me, there's a lot more better options out there. I think you can even get a pair of Fenolios for around that same price.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Fenolio is going to
Most
start
definitely.
at 215.
Yeah, most
Or
definitely.
315. I'm sorry.
Look,
Yeah, so
at
not
the
far
retail.
off at all.
if
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much, if Fenolio like has that same comfortability to me like a pair of Ariats where I could stand in them all day and it feels like a sneaker, like you've described, then at that point, Ariat, there's literally no point to it because again, I would only want the cow highs from Ariat. That I don't see myself needing anything else. And realistically, it's my sneakers. That's what I wear for sneakers. I wear Ariats. Um, so also the thing about the Ariats is they're also a rubber boot. Um, or sorry, rubber sole. So to me, like for instance, if I go hunting or whatnot, I really don't feel like wearing a leather soled boot. Um, at that point, I'll also be wearing cowboy boots, but Ariat is my current choice. I have a pair of Ariats for that purpose.
Yeah, I get that. Um, I'm different than some other people. If I'm hunting, I'm in usually a pair of like muck boots, top, you know,
Yeah,
something like that. I've got a pair of camo ones, so I use that for hunting. So, but
Depends
everybody's
on
different.
where. It depends on where. Like here,
True.
you're going to need a pair of snake boots. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, we
in
don't have that issue here
Kentucky,
as much as like what y'all have there.
Indiana, I wear, you know, something lace up, waterproof, because it's usually snowing. We know wintertime deer hunting, it's usually snowing, so something waterproof and lace up. Um, I usually pick the right boot for the right situation.
yep. Then most definitely.
And
Yep.
Ariat's never going to be it.
Agreed.
Ariat's never going to be. It's never going to fit that bill.
It's always worked out rather well for me. I never really had any issues. Like I said, I could run well enough with those, and I mean, Luke Casey's making rubber soled boots that are, I guess, similar to Ariats. I looked at them today. I don't know where they're made.
China.
Luke Casey's China.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Luke Casey had a China.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not happy about it. I mean, but yeah, they have a Chinese facility making their
No, I wouldn't be either.
junk boot. Yeah. So, but these Justins, I guarantee you, these Justins are probably made in China. I mean, Justin's an American-made company.
I think is Indonesia.
Vietnam. So I mean, that's better than China.
It is,
but still.
Vietnam. Yeah. Well, while we're at a small segue, I hate to run on, but we're getting close to my time, unfortunately. But it was good talking to you guys. I appreciate everybody that's listening in and listening to us talk for a little
yes,
while.
sir.
Yeah, we're about to cut it off anyway, Clay. I think we've kind of exhausted everything to tearing apart Ariat, but we'll let you go ahead and go eat dinner, and we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Yep.
Here in a minute.
I did have
get Finolio here on with us here soon, and hopefully.
Yeah, we'll get them scheduled. I'll send him another email tomorrow, and we'll see what's going on there. Thanks for being here, Clay.
Yes, sir.
I was just have a good one, Clay.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, Lionel. What was that?
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking up. I don't know if y'all can still see me. I'm just looking something up. But yeah, I'm looking on Luke Casey's website, and I'm looking at these. Let me see. It's called the Performance Molded 12-inch Pull-On Work Boot, which to me would be a fine pair of what I guess you could use for hunting also. They're waterproof and being a cowboy boot, and they almost look like a hiking boot. And right there, it says everything
Frontier
about
Tech.
Yeah, Frontier Tech, yes, sir. And
all Frontier Tech is made in China. It says if you go to Luke Casey FAQ.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to see that. Like,
oh, sorry.
But yeah, I would never think that Luke Casey would make a boot. I would think maybe at the very least, make him in Mexico. But then again, we all know about that problem with the Mexican last from Luke Casey. So, yeah, it's counterproductive.
They're not recraftable. If you don't know, they're not recraftable.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly. So $300 and some odd on a pair of basically, Luke Casey Timberlands. So, and Ariats are not, the rubber ones are not recraftable, but Ariat or Ariat approved cobblers can actually still recraft them, from what I hear.
Well, here's the thing about what is considered recraftable. It means sending them back to the factory and having them put on the original last and return to a new state. That's one way of looking at it. Now, if I have a pair of Mexican-made Lucchese's or Mexican-made Ariats and I take them to a cobbler here, they're going to throw them on a generic last and they're going to put a new sole on it.
Yep.
That's recraftable to an extent where you're getting an extra life out of it, but it's not ever going to fit the same.
Right. Yeah, if they recraft them completely. Now, if they just change the sole, that's a whole different story. Which, for the most part, the new boots and any boots, realistically, you're gonna have to go several times before you're gonna have to relast them. And most of us nowadays, before we even relast a boot, we have this, maybe two half soles done and a full sole, before we go ahead and just get a new pair of boots. At that point, those boots are, the vamp and everything else on that boot has just completely worn down. It's not. I don't think that's going to be, especially in the future, with the way that boots are made nowadays. I don't think it's going to be a boot that you're going to keep for the rest of your life. Hey, I had these boots since I was 16 years old. Now I'm 85 years old and I'm passing them over to my grandson. It's not going to be like that. I don't think in the near future anymore. I think just folks are just going to be having a pair of boots for 20 years maybe. Have them recrafted a couple times or resold, maybe half soles, and then just dump them.
Well, here's the thing. If you send them back to the manufacturer and put them on a last, that's the way you should resole a boot. If you want the boot to be the same boot you bought
Yeah.
and you want to maintain the factory warranty, especially with Lucchese, that's the way you should do it. If you just send them in to have a half sole done, somebody's going to cut off the sole and use that as a template to make another one.
Yep.
That works. I mean, it works, but it's not the right way.
No, of course. I agree with you 100%. The way to really do it, like I said, send them back to Rios of Mercedes or Lucchese or whoever, and have them redo it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you saw this guy that cuts open a lot of boots. I forgot his name.
Is that the guy? Is that the guy that owns?
Chisos? No.
What's that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Chisos.
Yeah, he cuts open a lot of guys' boots and stuff, but he sent over a pair of boots actually to this guy. This guy actually cut open a pair of Lucchese's, $1,000 Lucchese's, and was pretty disappointed in them. And oddly enough,
I saw that guy.
yeah, you saw him, right? So he just did one of those with a pair of Chisos, and he was really shocked at how well that boot was made.
Yeah, and I think I commented on the guy not really knowing what he was talking about. I would have to go back and revisit the video he did, but he didn't seem very knowledgeable. He knew how to cut something apart and look for specific things, but he didn't really know what made a boot a boot. I don't think that's what his. I would have to go back and look, but I don't
Right.
think that's like his industry. I think he does something else, and he just cut open a few boots.
Right. And I mean, for me, I don't know, everything, but I just kind of inform people on what I notice, and what I know and what I feel is good for me as a good boot. Now, I basically describe to folks what I see in the boot, and it's up to the person to say, hey, I like that about that boot, or hey, I don't like that about that boot. I don't think that's worth it for me, or I think this is worth it for me. I've made reviews where people were, telling me not just about boots, but like I made a video saying, between the Resistol and the American, and I said the American is the clear winner. And one person commented, well, that's a hard choice for me to make. So it's more of me sharing my opinion and sharing what I see and why I feel the way I do, and then folks taking whatever they want from that and seeing if that works for them or doesn't.
Yeah, I get that. It's a really tough situation because I just everybody knows my opinion. I don't like um, I don't like the boot companies who aren't making their own boots.
Right.
Um, I I just I have a big problem with that. Um, yeah, we're just gonna stay with that. So that's why I prefer to buy American made boots from companies who are actually making them in
Yeah,
house.
I agree with
Uh,
you. I do like my Anderson beans are just really my favorite boots. I really do love them, and that's just me saying that because I've never really owned a pair of Fenolios. But from the way that they're doing things, I cannot imagine myself not liking their boots. And just from how long they've been doing it, and the care that they give, you know that's definitely something. But also, I don't know if does Chisos has a uh recrafting program.
I don't know if they do. You would have to send them to Mexico unless they partnered with somebody here to do
Yeah,
it because he doesn't have a facility here.
and that's the thing. Even Tacovas is made in Mexico, but if you have them recrafted, they're going to be recrafted in Austin, Texas.
Are they really?
Yep, because that is part of their. They actually have a whole video about recrafting boots, and the same thing with Anderson Bean. And
Tecovas does?
yeah, they have a video about it, but I've not seen anything of that sort. And I would just think how complicated would it be for a small company like Chisos to want to recraft their boots.
Hmm.
But Tacovas obviously has more money and has the facilities to be able to have cobblers work on their boots. Uh, at this point, I'm thinking if you have the facility to recraft boots, should be able to make them too.
I see absolutely nothing on Tecovas recrafting. That'll require some more
Yeah, I
um,
think it's on the
looking into.
on YouTube.
Well, I mean, is it just a cobbler who redid a pair of?
No, no, no. It's actually them. Um, I don't. I
Well, why don't you find that video and send it to me,
yeah,
and
I
I
will.
will I'll link it. I'll link it here.
Yeah,
Um, if we find it,
yeah,
because it's hard to it's hard to believe. So I mean, they would have to be partnering with somebody, and they would have to have a last and all of that stuff.
yeah. They
Or maybe they have. I don't know. So that'd be interesting to look at. But
I vaguely remember them having that video. Uh, it was a while ago that I saw that. And again, I don't know. It must have at least been 8 or 9 months since I was really looking into that video. Uh, Actually, maybe even more than 9 months. But it's been a while since I saw the video. Probably when I was looking to get the Prescott, and I just maybe saw that video. Um, but who knows if they didn't take it down and stop the recrafting program too? you know.
Well, now that UGG bought them.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, I should have
Okay.
actually seen it, taken a look at that before I even talked. But maybe that's what it is. But I do remember that they did have a recrafting program where they showed a whole process of an old Takova's boot coming back to them, and then taking the old sole apart and the heel block and everything, and then repolishing or putting a brand new sole, Takova's sole stamped and everything with a cap, and also
Well,
putting.
you've got to Trenton and Heath and
Yeah,
Beatos Leatherworks. They recraft stuff like that, and then they will throw a Tecovas or a Justin or a Lucchese logo on there uh, after the fact. So I mean,
yeah,
it's cobblers do that. They can hot stamp. They're not supposed to, but they do it,
yeah.
and you know,
Well, they had the JR soles, so I mean that's even better. If you could just slap it, I mean, just if you could have a nice pair of Tacovas and then you slap a JR sole on there, you just enhance your boot by quite a lot.
yeah. Well, um, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know enough about Tecovas. I don't. I haven't seen anything really good come out of their um, facility. I've two or three pair of Tecovas, and I just don't like them.
Yeah,
They're not for me.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, so far, I mean, honestly, those sharks that I just reviewed were probably the best Tacovas that I've seen, and they still had some rough edges on it. Like you pointed out, the spots and some of those things. If I
Yeah.
actually were keeping the boots or purchasing them, I would have personally been a bit upset. But again, Tacova's customer service is really good, to the point where when I talked to them about it, they said, do you want us to exchange the boot for you? Um, oh, there it is. I found it. So I'm going to
Yeah.
send
Just
you.
send me a link.
Yeah, yeah, boot restoration program. There you go. There you go. So
And
yeah,
what were you saying?
um, no. So I was just saying, that they did want me to send the boots back, just to exchange them for another pair, but it's about 50-50 that people have actually seen spots on them, and different things, but I never expect a boot to be perfect, especially at, well, I think what they're 365 $365 for a shark skin boot, especially a limited run. But I mean, I think some quality control should be done a little bit better.
Right. I agree with you. Shark skin to me isn't my favorite, but I mean it is a. I mean it's an exotic, so um, let's just see what Anderson Bean charges for. Do they make shark skin?
Does Anderson Bean make shark skin? I don't think so. But you know who does make a
Well,
really nice looking shark skin is Rios. No, not Rios.
mhm.
Um, Lucchese and Blackjack make some really nice looking shark skin. Um,
So Bean does make. Outpost has some Bean shark skin
okay,
it, in blue safari, which they're kind of cool. Of course, they're completely sold out except for 10EE.
okay,
Um, but they but they're $500. So there's your price difference. So American made Anderson Bean blue shark skin, $500 versus Tecovas for 360. You said
yes, sir.
so 130 ish dollars, 140 bucks.
Yeah. Um, and at that point, especially with, I mean, those Tacovas fit me way better than the Prescott, but I don't know if I see them being as comfortable to me as my beans, and just having the character that the beans have. Um, Also,
I think it goes to how committed you are and uh, how willing you are to spend your money. For me, $160 to get an American made product, it's I'm all over it. You know,
yeah,
uh, a lot of people a lot of people say that's $160. I could buy a pair of Ariats too. You know, so so it's
yeah. At that point, I'd rather have the one good pair of boots from Anderson Bean and have it made
right.
American made. And you do see that, and you're thinking to yourself, and I understand. Some folks want to save a buck here or there, but there's times where
$140. I said 160. 140.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's times where you have to really consider to yourself, in the long run, how are you going to like that boot that you spend $140 less? Because you could think of it like, man, I have to spend $140 more just to get that other boot. But realistically, if you really do love that other boot more, and you're going you're going to be proud of having an American made boot and whatnot. Realistically, you didn't not spend, or you didn't save $140. You really lost $365 because now you're stuck with a boot you don't like, instead of you know $140 more, where you have something that you're truly happy with. And I think there's a lot to say for that. You know what I mean? And I think Tacovas made their name so big,
Oh
that
man.
people are just almost blind to the little price difference that they could pay for a really nicer made boot. And that's why I really do want to help companies like Fenolio, and you do too, for the same reasons, because man, they're same price, if not even cheaper, than some of these Mexican made boots, and
Hmm.
they're making such really awesome boots. They're the ones who really deserve to, and just to actually get the economy going in the United States. Those are the companies we should be looking to, that they're trying to make something as affordable as a foreign made product, you know, and bring it down at the same price and the same, a better quality and everything, and they're trying to, do that for us, so we could bring. So I definitely understand your point, and that's why I definitely am happy to actually be able to promote these kind of deals.
I lost my lighting, so let me change that real quick. That's
Nope.
funny. Usually I lose my camera, and
Yeah,
this time I
right.
just lost the lighting. Uh, what happened was I've got it cranked up to full power because the hat is so dark. I needed to I needed more light to kind of light it. It's kind of weird when you have a light colored hat. The, the light bounces off, and you don't need as much light. So
Yep.
I'm using about 75% more power just for a black hat. It's kind of funny, but
Yeah.
anyway, sorry.
I should tone this down a little bit. Tell me what you think, how you feel about this. Let me see. Hold on one second. Has a toner thing here.
It's kind of hard to tell in the studio. It's much easier once I get it in. It's much easier once I get it into post processing. It looks bright. It looks too bright.
Yeah, I toned
Uh,
it
there's a
down a little bit.
there's a glare off your hat, but I can probably work some magic in Adobe Premiere,
Cool.
and we'll see what I can do.
Yep.
I usually don't do a lot because there's so much editing to do with the audio that I don't do a lot with
With
the
the
video.
pictures, yeah.
I just kind of leave it as is, but we'll see what I can do.
Felt season
All
needs
right,
to
so
happen.
yeah, what's that?
Felt season needs to happen in South Florida. Bring it down here.
Well, I mean it's 69 degrees in my apartment here in Austin, and my fingers are cold right now. So
Yep. That's funny.
It's keeping my head.
I was looking at Fort Worth, and it said, that the current temperature in Fort Worth is like 80 degrees, and it ranges today between 80 to 66. And I'm like, man, that's awesome. You see that? That's why I can't wait to move over there. It's already like our winter over there.
Well, it's right now. It's 9 p.m. on Sunday, September the 11th, when we were filming this, and it's currently 81 degrees outside.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, so it's gonna be warm here for a while, but it's even comfortable, outside 80 degrees in
Oh yeah.
Texas to where it felt for me.
Yep,
So,
for sure. It was really hot earlier today. It was like 97 degrees, and the sun's
oh yeah,
like
but
right everywhere.
you got like 127% humidity though, right?
Yeah, that sounds right about right. You're actually right on the spot.
Oh, I hear myself echoing on you. So I'll let you I'll let you go ahead and tell us what you got going on
Oh yes.
next. What's coming up?
So I don't have any more boots to review right now. So this Wednesday I'm going to be between doing a suspender video, or I'm going to be doing an instructional video on how to slit the bottom of your pants. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Uh, I slit your pants for what purpose?
For the bottom of the boot, you ever seen when, like, let's say the opening is not wide enough, and then you just kind of cut the, like, right where the seam is on the end, just maybe like a half an inch.
To
uh
get your pants over
Yeah, just to
the
kind of
shaft?
give it that style, and it kind of goes over the shaft. A lot of guys in rodeos are doing that, but
Okay.
it does give it a nice, cool look. Definitely more of a, uh, just kind of, going out on the day, kind of look. But it really works, and it does give it a cool look. I do have it on my jeans right now, so I'm thinking of doing a instructional video on how to get that done right. um, and then also, doing the suspender review, and then hopefully we should have some new boots and other hats to review. Also, I do have the Carter's review coming up, but that might not be till November or December. And the reason being is that, um, the boots that I will have for review for Carter's boots is going to arrive in around that time, because they don't have my size right now. So we're just waiting on that, and then we're going to be able to get that done. But y'all can still use my promo code, which is going to be linked down there.
Yeah, I you never sent it to me, but I took it off of our last video and I put it
Okay.
in the last video. So take a look at that and make sure it's right.
Yep.
For podcast 6. So just make sure you take a look at that and make sure it's right. I can edit that if we need to. So I on the other hand have a ton of boots that I can review. I just I haven't had the time. I see it. Okay. I do have some stuff coming for promo on cowboy boots, hats, and no, sorry, I for American Hat Company Enthusiast and Cowboy Cartel Group. I'm going to be doing a video on some stuff coming up. Should be here midweek, so I'll try to get that out at the end of the week, and we'll talk about that because we've got some milestones coming up. We're within 100 of 20,000 followers on American Hat Company enthusiast, and I'm close to 1,000 at Cowboy Cartel Group. So we're going to be doing some giveaways for both of those, and it's pretty interesting stuff, and you guys will see. So that's what I've got coming up soon, and I've got a felt coming from American that we're going to be shaping at Best Hat Store, and that'll be coming probably the end of the month, maybe beginning of October. But that's all I got.
That's your the 200X.
Yeah, 200X chocolate coming in.
Gotcha. Yep. And God willing,
Andy at Best Hat has agreed to do an interview with us and shape that up for me. So we're gonna talk to him and get that lined out once it comes in.
Yeah, Andy's a great person. I can't wait to see that video. By the way.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yep. And for me, I got also I'm not exactly sure when mine will be arriving, but I do have a American 200X on the way in silver belly.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
So, all right. I think that about does it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. It's kind of just a laid back kind of a chat session today. We didn't have anything really planned, but we wanted to talk boots and hats, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, most definitely. And we got little guns in there too.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how YouTube would. I could have brought guns out and laid them on the counter and stuff. I don't know what YouTube would think about that though.
Oh, we're allowed to.
Are we?
Yeah, we're allowed to. I forgot. I watch gun videos, so I know some of the things that they say. I guess we got to clear them.
It's too much trouble.
Yeah, exactly. We got to clear them, and we cannot talk about certain. Oh, we cannot give promo codes for gun parts. Weird.
Okay.
I don't know why.
All right. Well, all right, Lionel. Good talking to you, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
All right. See you. Have a good one, y'all.